Hi class. I wanted to do a video. It's actually quite early in the morning here. Not too early. It's 8 o'clock Alaska time. As you might remember, I'm doing my internship at the Office of Public Advocacy in the Guardian Ad Litem section. And for this week's video, I wanted to talk about critical thinking and judgment, specifically kind of practicing tapering individual biases and personal biases. Um, I was given an assignment at my internship to write a disposition report. One of the guardian ad litems had switched jobs and they needed someone to try to write a report. And that's something I was interested in being able to do. A disposition report is pretty much a report that the guardian ad litem submits um, to basically describe the events that led up to the child being taken into state custody. And they work with OCS using their family case plan. Pretty much, OCS works with the parents and they develop a case plan to help try to mitigate the circumstances that led to their child being removed from their custody. And as you know, the guardian ad litems, they work with the child, making sure their needs are met, giving them a voice. And so I was given an assignment to write a report. It was for an infant, actually, which was quite a bit easier, being that, the infant doesn't go to school and things like that. The report, I want to talk about critical judgment and kind of tapering my bias and things like that. Because the report, it was really disturbing. The mom had a lot of drug use. She actually, at one point in time, had another child removed from her custody permanently. She actually had her rights terminated on another child several years ago. And the drug use has pretty much persisted throughout from the time that her older child was removed to when she had this new baby. And reading the petition and hearing about the past drug use and what led to her child being taken away, you know that was that right there obviously kind of brings up a red flag. It's like, you think you've already had a child removed and you haven't stopped your drug use. During the pregnancy, you were abusing drugs, which is what alerted OCS to the fact that there was something wrong in the home and a child was unsafe. um, while writing the report and looking at all those circumstances, I really had to kind of take a step back, think what's best for the infant, while also considering the importance of reunification and the major goal. And the mom was engaged in her case plan for a while. She seemed to be very dedicated and motivated to trying to get her daughter back. However, as the months waned on, you could see her motivation dropped. Looking at OCS's discovery, you could see where, she wasn't making her appointments. Her visits to her daughter were starting to decline. But as I was reading the report, it was also there was just a big emphasis on, you know, although she may be falling short, she was just, you can tell that there were drinking and substance abuse were her ways to cope. There were several times when she visited her daughter and that she was extremely emotional, as reported by the OCS worker. And pretty much while writing the report, even though it was clear that for the child's best interest, she needed to remain in the custody of a relative. Um, as I was writing the report, I still felt compelled to acknowledge the mother's strengths, highlight the shortcomings and things that she still needed to work on. But I just kind of felt like I was actually applying what we learn about kind of tapering personal biases and not jumping to conclusions. This case has also prompted me to kind of look at some more literature in regards to substance abuse and reunification and things like that. And my on-site supervisor always, mentions, hey, our best scenario for what we would want for our kids may differ, but we have to just make sure the kid is safe and they're getting their basic needs met, which it does seem like an unfortunate situation for the child, but that's all about kind of tapering your own biases and things like that. And another quick aspect I want to touch on is, the substance abuse in Native communities. And my field instructor, Maggie, she mentioned the deep rooted struggles with substance abuse and how, they use that to cope. And now that's the thing that we want to snatch away. So things like that, just considerations. And I wanted to make a video about, critical thinking and judgment and how I felt like I used that in writing the disposition report. I was fair, but accurate in the mom's efforts, while I felt like I was protecting the infant daughter's protecting her rights to be safe and unharmed. So thank you for listening. I look forward to hearing your videos today as well.